In just a few days, Pope Leo XIV will be officially confirmed as the next leader of the Catholic Church at the Vatican this Sunday. The Vatican is also unveiling Leo's coat of arms. The Holy See press office noting it evokes his devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary and draws inspiration from St. Augustine. Joining me now to discuss the conclave and someone who witnessed it firsthand, a very special guest. We are pleased to have Reverend Robert Sirico, President Emeritus of the Acton Institute, with us. Reverend, thank you. Welcome into Newsline. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
And people may think your name sounds familiar, so we also want to mention you are the brother of the late Sopranos actor Tony Sirico. I'm sure you get that a lot. So thank you for joining us to talk a little bit about all these interesting angles of, we hadn't heard about the American Pope, what it was like for you being there in Rome when it all went down.
Well, I was atop a building near the St. Peter's and commenting on Sky News International, and we had just gotten off the set. We were sitting talking, and they said, "Get back on, there's white smoke." And when he came out about an hour later, I was just astounded to think that it would be an American. He was on my short list of about 12 cardinals, but I just didn't think it would be an American Pope. I thought it would take centuries to get to that point.
Obviously, people are wondering about the future of the Catholic Church. The fact he's American, some say, will lead to even a bigger revival, which some say we're feeling here in America. So talk to us about that, Reverend, and also what your hope is for the faithful now with Pope Leo XIV and officially being now put in on Sunday.
Well, I think there already is a kind of renewal going on in the Catholic Church in the United States. We're seeing more families, more young men coming to the priesthood. I think this will accelerate it. And I think his being an American, even though he was the least American of all the cardinals, because he spent so many years in Peru, but I think that American sensibility he's going to bring to the Vatican bureaucracy. There are a whole bunch of problems dealing with finances in the church, so I think that he can bring to bear some American practicality in that. His role is to unify, and this man has a capacity to do that.
You know, and Reverend, your thoughtful comments on the Pope, but we also want to ask you about your brother. You've talked about the different career paths you've taken, and also, you know, how you do get recognized or people hear your name and ask you about it. So what would you like to share about that and what you tell folks?
Well,
how he ended up on The Sopranos and you ended up in here.
You know, he used to always make the comparison between our lives. He'd say that it's funny how life sometimes imitates art. And he was referring to the movie with James and Pat O'Brien, Angels with Pretty Faces, where one becomes a criminal and the other becomes a priest. And I mean, we grew up in the same home with the same environments. He's 10 years older than me. And he had some trouble in his life, and he turned that around. And it was remarkable. I think he made about 40 different movies. Of course, The Sopranos was the biggest hit, but he was in Goodfellas and even Godfather 2.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much for sharing the pictures of your brother and sharing your story of your time over in Rome. It was a pleasure to have you, Reverend Robert Sirico. Thank you very much.
Thank you.